Hey everyone, welcome to another macro photography video. So today I'm out looking for a target species of mine, one that I've wanted to see and photograph for a very long time. And that is the Banded Demoiselle Damselfly, or Calopteryx splendens. And this is a subject, I've seen them a few times, but always during the day when they're very difficult to photograph. So I wanted to come out early in the morning. And this location here is one of the, not that many locations actually, where they're known from in Berlin. So I thought I would come out here early. It's a bit before, or I got here a bit before 6 in the morning. And hopefully they're still a little bit still. It's been quite a cool night and it'll be warmer in the next few days. So this might be one of the last opportunities. And hopefully I can get a few shots before they get more active. Let's see. So after searching for a little bit, I found a couple in decent locations to photograph. And I've got my very improvised kind of clamp set up just to keep the leaves that they're sitting on still. And I'm just gonna try and get a few photos, experiment a little bit, and just see what I can get while it's still quite early in there still. So this one has started moving a little bit before I could get any good stacks, and actually crawled up onto my hand, which I was holding the plant with. So I'm not sure if I can get any stacks of this individual anymore because it's moving a little bit too much, but I'll keep trying. Maybe I can find another one that stays still. Otherwise, I think I might just be a little bit too late in the morning and they're already woken up and too active. But let's see. Hopefully I can still get something. So the biggest challenge I'm having so far is they are staying still. They're still quite calm because it's just not warmed up yet enough, but they seem to be triggered to move a little bit by the flash. So I'm gonna give this a few more attempts, but otherwise I might switch to natural light to see if that works better. Otherwise, I found with subjects that react to flash, just keep trying a few times, get a few different attempts, and maybe eventually you'll get one that works. So I think I may have gotten a decent stack of this one, but it just has kind of a dark background, which could look quite nice, and I think it might make the blue colors of these gorgeous damselflies really pop. But what I'm gonna try is just to get a little bit more color into the background. I've got a second little clamp attached to my mini tripod here, and I'm gonna try and put a little yellow leaf in there and see if I can place that in the background just to get a little bit more of a pop of color behind it. And I think that also using the blue of the damselfly and using a yellow background for this could give quite a nice contrasting image in the end. One thing that I often forget when I find kind of an exciting subject like this is to get more than just the kind of the exact shot that I've been hoping for. So for example, with these damselflies, I've always wanted to get a really close portrait of one of them. So that's of course what I went for first. But they look just as interesting if you go from the side and look at the outside of the wings. They have this really intricate venation and also have the sort of blue patterning on the wings. So I always try my best to remember to get a few different detail shots at a few different angles just to really show off a subject like this. So there's another individual right here, and this one is sitting in a really nice position actually with its wings spread out. And this is one of the unique things about these Demoiselle Damselflies. Usually the one way to distinguish dragonflies from damselflies is that dragonflies, when they sit, when they're still and not flying, they sit with their wings outspread and flat, whereas damselflies usually sit with their wings folded up behind them. But Demoiselle Damselflies are kind of unique among damselflies in that they often sit with their wings spread out, like this individual right here. And this one is, just because I already got a portrait, it's not in as good a position for a portrait. But with the wings spread out, I want to get a shot from above just to show those really beautiful blue patterned wings. And in this case, because I'm shooting from quite far away, I'm going to use natural light and stack at around f2.8 to hopefully get a little bit of a nicer kind of background separation and some nice light. So I'm going to keep my diffuser on because it doesn't really matter. I'm just turned the flash off, and I'm going to see if I can find a nice framing for this individual. I think I need to turn up my ISO quite a bit just to be able to use a high enough shutter speed, because that's one thing that's very important with natural light if you're shooting handheld, is to have a good shutter speed. In this case, I'm shooting at around 1/200th of a second, and I have to, even at f2.8, raise my ISO to 1600. So I think I've got decent settings here, and I'm just going to try and shoot a little stack. Alright, so the damselflies have become quite active. It's warmed up a little bit, and I don't think I'll be able to get any more photos of them this morning. So I'm going to call it a day, and I hope that the photos I got turned out well. Otherwise, I'm still just really happy to have seen this really beautiful species again and to have spent this time in this really cool location. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Alright, so the damselflies have become quite active now, and I don't think I can Alright, so the damselflies have become quite active, and I don't think I'm Alright, so the damselflies have become quite active, and I don't think I can get Stop.